2011 Cruze. Second battery keeps dying. Parasitic drain. I had to use my jump box to get it started. Right now, I don't even have this hooked up, so that's my voltage reading. So it is charging. I'm letting it charge up a little bit. It was stone dead. Get the amp meter in series. Let's see if I can find this raw. Before I start is check the mileage and check the codes. Hood open. Okay, so it has a hood latch. So I got to make sure I trip that when I check for this. 125,713. I want to do a code check first, and after the code check, I will begin my procedure on trying to find this draw. Got quite a few codes here, so I'm going to save this report. See what we got here. Lost communication with control module. I don't know if any of this has to do with battery being dead. EBCM, power steering, telematic, radio. All this is lost communication, CAN bus. So all that, what I want to do, I'm going to send that to myself and keep it on record. Start off by clearing them. Hopefully something comes back. A lot of these might have been because the battery was so low. I haven't rescanned it yet, but these two ones didn't clear. So this one comes up and is still complaining about the telematic control module, and this one is lost communication with body control module. I had multiple codes in here in different modules complaining about the telematics. I think that's the direction I'm probably going to go, but I want to see if I can go in here and clear them individually. Sometimes it doesn't clear. Sometimes it doesn't. This is history code, so it's not right now. Okay, yeah. So the E, let's see. Is this a history code as well? This is current. Okay, so the EBCM cannot talk to that. I want to clear it anyway. This one's coming back. Okay, so I might have a different direction here. Is the telematics interface. Alright, I was able to clear that. I cycled the key, I rescanned it, and we still have that came back. Lost community. Yeah, I think the telematic control module. What, the telephone control module? Telephone control module. Telematic control module. I don't know if they're two separate things, but they're both history codes. Alright, I think I'm farting around too much here. Really what I want to do is I want to get my voltmeter on, or my amp meter on this, and see what's going on. I got to trip all the latches first. I want to turn. I don't want to touch nothing. I'm going to leave everything the way it is. The only thing that I touched was I turned the radio off, and I messed with that menu knob there. The radio is playing about the telematics as well. That might be the direction I'm going, but I just wanted to collect all this data. Right now I'm charging it up a little bit. As procedure, it tells you to hook it up to positive on the jumper, little jumper thing there, and to go on the engine ground, a good engine ground. You have a sensor there, you don't want to hook it up to that. So I'm going to probably hook it up for a couple minutes, let this engine cool down. Okay, I'm waiting for it to fall asleep. I got it connected to my ammeter. I went around with the scan tool and I made sure all the latches were working correctly, and I latched them to make it think that all the doors and everything are shut, including the trunk. I have the trunk open as well. Right now it's pulling 2.2 amps. I'm going to give it a little while for it to try to go to sleep. That's extremely high. I think they get a couple days out of it, or like 1 or 2 days out of it they can get out of it before the battery dies. I'm going to give this some time because it just went up, so I'm going to let this thing try to go to sleep. After some time it dropped down to about this, where it's at now. I'm not exactly sure. I should have started a stopwatch, but it definitely hasn't been a half hour yet, so I'm still waiting. In over a half hour, I am using the amp clamp here. It's accurate enough. I checked it, and through the ammeter, it's this doesn't start overheating, but it was about 400 milliamps, and this is at 500 milliamps. Unfortunately, this meter doesn't do millivolts, so I went to this one where I can actually get the millivolts, and I'm probably gonna have to get this thing out of the sun, but it doesn't like the sun. This thing is old. I checked all these fuses under here. This little bee keeps following me. It's like this freaking big. It's going right in my face. But I did find, I checked all the fuses except for these 2 fuses. I haven't pulled them off yet, but all of these fuses were 0 except for this one right there. And you see how it's got like, it's scribed, and on the inside here there's a fuse for the OnStar. I'm wondering if this thing's constantly popping fuses or something, and that's why this is taped on the inside. And fuse number 1 is, which that is right there, OnStar. Let me see if there's a way I can figure out how to put this camera so you can see it. Alright, I got it rested on the seat there, but when I touch the leads together, it goes to 0 like it's supposed to, and then when I go to the OnStar and go across the fuse, I have 2.8 millivolts. That is my draw. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that fuse out, see what the draw goes down to. This probably doesn't have OnStar up to date anyway. Probably don't use it, but that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully my camera doesn't overheat again, because it's just constantly overheating. Right now I got about 400 milliamps. This isn't the most accurate, but it's what I have to work with. I don't know if there's any way that I can do this out here. There's really no way to do this. We're just gonna have to trust each other. Well, doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to do that. I am going to. The OnStar is up on the mirror there. Pull this fuse out. Fuse is out. And drop down to 0.2. It's 290 milliamps. So I'm going to try to get my ammeter back on here and get a more accurate reading. And we went down. We got 18 milliamps. I think I can live with that. That's what the OnStar disconnected. And I'm going to see what they want to do with this. I don't think they use it. It's kind of pointless to have. So I took the fuse out, and I believe that's the fix. It was about 400-500 milliamps, which is a pretty big draw. According to the diagram, power distribution. That fuse only feeds the telematics system, which is the OnStar. I have to contact them, see if they use it, if they want to use it or not. But just for reference, you'll see it spikes up, but it goes, I don't know, maybe 10-15 seconds. It goes all the way back down to 18 milliamps. Let me disconnect it, hook it back up. See, well, didn't go all the way up that high, but if you watch it, it'll actually come down pretty quick. Dropping down 300 milliamps, 191 milliamps. And there you go. I'm happy with that. So I want to find out what she wants to do. I'm going to throw this thing on the charger for a little bit while I hear from the customer, and then that's it. That's what this needs. My recommendation is, this is 2011. Just leave it disconnected and enjoy the car until you take it to the junkyard.